What's good, Commanders fans? Happy Victory Monday, man. 3-1. Just want to give a quick shout out to Bet US. Make sure you guys check them out. They will be sponsoring today's video. Also, guys, I'm sorry I started late. I'm gonna do a lunchtime live today. Just excited after getting the dub, man. Once again, just dominating the Cardinals in their house. Cliff Kingsbury taking over their house, getting revenge on them. Jayden Daniels looking the part. You know, you wake up, you listen to ESPN, glazing us and loving us. Damian Woody from ESPN saying that he's the best quarterback in the NFC, not the NFC East, but the NFC at this point. So it's easy to get carried away. Yeah, he said Jayden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. This is Get Up ESPN. There's a clip of like Jay Gruden or John Gruden. He's like sweating, talking about he just watched some Jayden Daniels highlights. I'll probably put that up on Twitter or react to that in the video later. But man, we are 3-1, guys. We're sitting pretty atop of the NFC East. The work is not done yet. We got a long way to go. First and foremost, rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo, Hall of Famer, legend. We know Dikembe Mutombo. I know it's not football, but I just had to give a shout out to and send my condolences to the Mutombo family, of course. Dikembe Mutombo is a legend for sure. We know he went to Georgetown, played basketball at Georgetown. So just a great local basketball player. So I have to send my condolences. Rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo, died at 58. But let's get into the chat here, guys. I just want to chop it up with you guys and just celebrate, just enjoy the moment. You know, it's been a long time coming. We got a quarterback. It's not a debate. We got a quarterback in Jayden Daniels. The defense showed up. That's what I want to come on the stream and give props to the defense. The offensive line has been doing a good job. The defense showed up. This college offense has been looking good. This college offense has been doing historical things. Like there's so many historical numbers and analytics and stats and all kinds of stuff we can go over and whatnot. But you know, studs and duds. There really were no duds yesterday too. Like because I usually do studs and duds, and there really weren't any duds. I mean, the only dud I can really say is maybe the Ben Sinnott penalty had like a false start, and that really didn't hurt us. And then the 12 men on the field penalty, we still scored. So I mean, there really was no duds. There's no duds I can really. Emmanuel Forbes, he did what he was supposed to do. He didn't get big boyed. He didn't get bodied or anything like that. He did a good job on Michael Wilson one play. I really have no duds. I'm trying to think of a dud if there was, and there's no point. There's no trying to force a dud if there wasn't. And the PFF number, I have a couple PFF numbers, and all our offensive linemen were just ridiculously highly graded yesterday. They all did a great job. Jayden's a big part of that, but man, I mean, and we're talking about playoffs. Everybody's talking about playoffs now, and it's real. It's real. I know I hate to get too ahead of myself and stuff, but all this stuff, I don't blame you if you bring it up. I don't blame you if you bring up the MVP conversation for Jayden at this point. I mean, other than that, it's Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, and maybe Derrick Henry the way he played last night. But other than that, he legit should be in the conversation. He should at least be top 10 in the conversation. Offensive Rookie of the Year, he's already got that. He's going to win that for sure. But I'm going to get to you guys' comments real quick. I know everybody's hyped up. We're all excited. 3-1, dominating a team 42-14 in their house. Cliff exposed Kyler Murray. He wrote the book on Kyler Murray. He gave Joe Witt Jr. the book on Kyler Murray. He really did. And I think that was a big help. Dorrance Armstrong is alive. He's awake. He has a pulse. Ball is like Frankie Louvu flying around. Bobby Wagner flying around. Jeremy Chin actually tackling. Quan Martin doing his thing. Daron Payne, they woke up. John Allen, they woke up. They have a pulse. They're awake. Now he still has more interviews and sacks and impactful plays, but John Allen starting to wake up. Daron Payne starting to wake up. And if our defense can be top 18, not even top half of the league, I'm just saying, hey, hold a team to 20 points. Hold a team to 20, 22 points instead of giving up 30 and 35 or whatever. If they can do that, then we're going to be nasty. We are going to be nasty. All right, let's get to a couple comments here, guys. I'll probably go for like 45 minutes to an hour, like a lunchtime live. Outdoors with JV says 3-1, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. You already know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Top of the NFC East right now. In the Trenches podcast. He's at work, but hey, the noise on the outside means nothing. Washington hasn't played their best ball yet. Quarter of the season in the book and sitting at 3-1, man. Yeah, I know. And like I said, the national media is loving us right now, but it's all good. There's a couple people who are Ravens fans who were Commanders fans and they switched to the Ravens. They're trying to come back. I mean, that's just how much the world is loving us right now. But I love Jayden Daniels, the way he's staying humble, keeping the outside noise out. And then Josh Harris was smart. to have the team stay in Arizona State, stay just to fly it from Cincinnati to Arizona. They stayed the week there. That was a heck of a decision by Dan Quinn and Josh Harris. And Jeremy McNichols was awesome in the game. I mean, we had other guys step up. Noah Brown spreading the wealth. We have a wide receiver by committee. We have a weaponry by committee. Everybody stepped up. B-Rob, 100 yards on the ground. Terry, a touchdown and 7 catches. Noah Brown forcing a pass interference. Luke McCaffrey getting in the mix with a 17-yard catch. Olamide Zaccheaus getting a first down and more. Couple first downs. Olamide had 85 yards and 6 catches. He was balling out there. He was cooking. He just needs to calm down with the penalty. I didn't like the taunting penalty that they gave Olamide, but it is what it is. We still scored on that. We have a kicker now, Austin Siebert. We have a kicker. I mean, there's just a lot of momentum, a lot of good things we have going for us right now. I mean, it's just a surreal feeling being a Commanders fan right now. It really is. Outdoors with JV says this is just the beginning of the team just going to get better and better week by. I mean, this is a rookie quarterback doing this. He's going to get better each game. He really is. He's running the throw now. He's running the throw. The 3rd and 13 to Noah Brown was impressive. I feel like there was a 3rd and 5 to Terry. We were 9 for 12 on 3rd downs, 1 for 1 on 4th down. We're a 4-down team. I talked about this last week after the Bengals game. We're a 4-down team. Like if we want to go for it on 4th and 3 and we're in the Browns territory next week, we're on their 40-yard line. It's 4th and 3. I'm going for it every time. That's how confident I am in this team. That's how confident Cliff is in Jayden. That's how confident Dan Quinn is in Jayden Daniels at this point. That's how confident they are in each other to this point. It was a 4th and 1, and Jeremy McNichols had a 15-yard run on a 4th and 1. That's just how hot we are on offense. Tress Way barely has to play. The only thing he has to do is hold kicks for Austin Siebert, hold the field goal, hold the extra point. That's all Tress Way. And when Tress Way went out there, when his number was called that one time, that was a heck of a punt by Tress Way. Just everybody played a part in the game. Like everybody. That's just how it was on Sunday. Everybody played a part. NFL Ransom, this feels unreal. It does. It feels surreal. It really is a surreal feeling right now to have a quarterback and the offense is humming like this, and to have an offensive coordinator that is calling good plays too. Like Cliff is in his bag right now. He's in his bag. He's really in his bag. He wanted to rub it in Kyler Murray's face. I didn't see if they shook hands after the game. Cliff got the game ball, rightfully so, deservedly so. Dan Quinn made sure that he got the game ball, and that was fun to see that after the game. You see Terry in the picture in the thumbnail. He's all giddy. He's hyped up. He's like, I got a quarterback, man. I finally have a quarterback. I finally got a quarterback. G-Man says, are we being punked? Yeah, it feels really weird. It feels really, really odd. It feels really odd, honestly, to see that. Andrew Wiley, he said, this is the most fun I've ever had. We're just having a F-word blast up front, a freaking blast up front. And he played with Pat Mahomes. And he said, this is the most fun I've ever had. He won a championship with Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. He's talking about this is the most fun he's ever had. That's how fun. That's how much fun these guys are having playing together. Andrew Wiley's having a good season. He's having a good season. And that's a part of that is Jayden Daniels' mobility and making guys better. Andrew Wiley's balling. Brandon Coleman is balling. Cornelius Lucas is balling. So it's like I was talking about later on, we need to figure out, okay, for the left tackle, because we're going up against Myles Garrett. But the Browns, I think we need to make a decision on whether we're going to have one left tackle play all the snaps eventually, when we are in the playoff hunt, which we will be. Should we just do one left tackle instead of having the rotation of Cornelius Lucas and Brandon Coleman? And honestly, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But maybe later on they decide on one guy, whether it's Lucas or Brandon Coleman. But one guy hasn't really been markedly better than the other. Cornelius Lucas through the first 2 games was better, but Brandon Coleman he's on his way. He's on his way right now. And there's no reason to really bench Cornelius Lucas at this point because Cornelius Lucas is playing really well. I know you want to get the rookie more snaps. But like I said, right now, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Cornelius Lucas is playing really good football. He's playing really well. Tyler Biadasz, badass Biadasz, he's playing well. Allegretti, he injured his ankle, but I think he should be good to go on Sunday against the Browns. He's been playing well. Cosme, we already know what he does. He's been playing well. So the whole offensive line, they deserve a game ball as well. They set the tone. They set the edge for B-Rob to get his yards, McNichols to get his yards. Zaccheaus on a reverse play got a first down where he got flagged. I mean, we're just playing smash mouth football. We're playing downhill right now. We really are. And our confidence is sky high. Like NBA Street Game Breakers or 2K back in the day when the sliders were up and the confidence is up and the team, the sliders and the Game Breaker. That's kind of how that's just how the offense is rolling at this point right now. That's just how it feels. NFL Ransom says, "Hey, man, had said this time a mistake or something." No, I did not. I put this at 12:15. Shout out to KT. Shout out to KT, who is a channel member. Shout out to Katie. Thank you for coming into the stream. I said it at 12:15. I wanted to do a lunchtime live because that's the best time I have today for myself, especially with Monday Night Football coming on. They got 2 games. They're doing the back-to-back games tonight or the simultaneous games tonight. And then I'll be doing a stream with Rio on Rio's channel with Louis T and Street Score. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at about 8 o'clock. So I don't have any time tonight. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be on Rio's channel. So I'm dedicating all my time to have a great time with my guy Rio, with my guy Louis, and my guy Street Score. So this is like the best time I got for myself. So I wanted to chop it up with you guys and have some time for sure. Majik Boomin, deep playoff run. Like I said, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it's like, why not us? Why not us? Why not us? Honestly, we're 3-1. We're playing good football, and the defense is getting better. That's the scary part. Dorrance Armstrong is weak. And imagine when Cleveland Farrell comes back. Cleveland Farrell, it's not like he was dominating, but Cleveland Farrell at least was getting pressure. He was tackling. He was wrapping guys up. He's wrapping the quarterbacks up. He wrapped the quarterback up twice this year, something that we haven't been able to do. So imagine when Cleveland Farrell comes back. I'm surprised. I feel crazy saying this, but Cleveland Farrell, imagine when Cleveland Farrell comes back. And he's balling. And we did this against a mobile quarter. Guess how many rush yards Kyler Murray had? He had 3 yards. He had 3 more rushing yards than everybody that's watching this stream right now. 3 more rushing yards, unless Jayden Daniels is watching the game or Brian Robinson or James Conner. But he had 3 rushing yards. He had 3 more rushing yards than me and you guys. And we did that to a mobile quarterback. You know, how many times have we seen a mobile quarterback run for 100 yards, 50 yards? Daniel Jones run crazy on us. And we did this to Kyler Murray, who's a jitterbug quarterback. We contained him, kept him in the pocket. He couldn't see over the line. He was struggling. He was seeing ghosts out there, guys. He was seeing ghosts at one point. They couldn't get a first down. They really couldn't get a first down at one point. That's how bad it was. That's how our defense was strapping up. Dorrance Armstrong 2 sacks. We forced him to punt. When have we ever forced a team? When did we ever force a team to punt? Barely against the Giants, barely against the Bengals. And when the Buccaneers, we couldn't stop anybody. And we did that against Kyler Murray in their house. The fans took over Arizona. I heard they were playing go-go music. Like the Cardinals fans were leaving before the game was over, like in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go. I mean, that's what you call a takeover. We did a Commanders takeover. Eric Barber, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Support, brother. I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you for the donation. Man, I appreciate the support so much, man. I appreciate the support so much. Prayer hands for sure. And everybody's excited right now. I'm excited, man. We are 3-1. We got a quarterback. We got an offensive coordinator. We got a wide receiver 1 and Terry. We got other guys chipping in like Noah Brown. We got a legit offensive line now. They're balling. I got some PFF numbers to go over how well they've been. Brandon Coleman had a really good game. Cornelius Lucas. I think we had 2 top 10. I know people don't like PFF and whatever, but it's a grading metric where you can evaluate guys. And they graded very highly in the metrics. So, I mean, that's what I'll say about PFF. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But they looked really good yesterday. And like I always say, Jayden makes these guys better. He makes these guys better. He really does. He makes these guys better. Andrew Wiley's playing better. Guys are playing better. Luke McCaffrey's coming and making noise. He's making plays. But Eric, thank you for the donation. And we have, guys, media saying that he's the best quarterback in the NFC right now. I mean, it's arguable, but he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Week again. He may. Sam Darnold will probably win NFC Player of the Week because they beat the Packers in Green Bay. He had like 3 touchdowns. But let's look at the PFF number here. So Brandon Coleman, Andrew Wiley were both in top 10 in pass blocking PFF grades today. Also, Cornelius Lucas, pass blocking. Cornelius Lucas had an 87.6. Trent Williams was number 1 with a 90.6. I'm not surprised there. Orlando Brown for the Chiefs with 89.7. Brandon Coleman had an 86.6 PFF pass blocking grade. Andrew Wiley had an 84.4 pass blocking grade. There were some moments where, and then also the 2-point conversion. I'm looking at some highlights right now while I'm talking to you guys, actually. And the 2-point conversion to Zach Ertz was just precision passing at its finest. I mean, he just saw the window where Zach Ertz was getting open in the back of the end zone. He hit that 2-point. How many times have we struggled with 2-point conversions in the past? We've struggled so many times. Like even stuff right now that was tough for us in the past is just so easy for us. Jayden just makes it look so easy. Cliff makes it look so easy with the play calling. He's making guys better. Guys are running open. And there's some tight window throws that Jayden's making too. The Luke McCaffrey throw was a tight window throw. He's making third reads, getting to his third read. The guys on the broadcast yesterday were talking about that. So he's getting to his reads and everything. He's looking down the field. So game by game, Jayden's getting better. He really is getting better. And it will be scary for the league. Just like Jeremy Fowler said, it will be scary hours for the league. It really will be. Because Jayden's getting better game by game. And he ran 8 times, and he slid yesterday, which was really good. He ran a couple of times. He barely got hit, knock on wood, but he's so smart. He's so smart to evade the rush and know when to run and when not to, and not put his body in harm's way. Both games, the Bengals game, he did a good job getting out of bounds or sliding. And then the game yesterday at 4 o'clock, he did a good job sliding, getting out of harm's way. So Jayden's getting better each game. It's going to be very scary. Pedro, what's up, man? Make sure you guys subscribe to my guy, Pedro. Make sure you guys subscribe to him. Great Commanders content creator. Great guy. Always has content coming out basically every day. Make sure you guys subscribe to my guy, Pedro, man. That's my guy right there. Heck of a Commanders content creator for sure. For sure. Let me get to some more comments. Shugs B, yes, I agree with that. Austin Eckler doesn't have to rush back now. Get healthy. Your backup is holding it down. I mean, Jeremy McNichols. Another crazy stat for Jeremy McNichols. In 40 career games for Jeremy McNichols, he only had 1 touchdown. Guess how many touchdowns he had yesterday? 2 touchdowns and a bow and arrow penalty. I didn't like that penalty either, but Jeremy McNichols, he was balling. He was making guys miss. Converting, getting that first down on 4th and 1, ran for 15 yards. He was a dog. He was a stud. I'll do studs and duds real quick, get out of the way. B-Rob, 21 carries, 101 yards, a touchdown. He was a stud for sure. Jeremy McNichols changed the pace back, 8 carries for 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jayden Daniels, clearly a stud, 8 carries for 47 yards, 1 touchdown. And the formula that Dan Quinn said is he wants us to have 55 completions. And we got over that. We got to 58 completions within the third, 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We got to 58 completions or something. They showed that stat online, and that was very easy. But B-Rob, 21 carries, 101 yards. Jeremy McNichols, 8 carries for 68 yards for 2 touchdowns. Alameda was a dog. He was a stud. Terry was a stud. Noah Brown was, I think, I put him in the stud category as well. Zach Ertz, I thought he played well. 3 catches for 22 yards. No touchdowns for Zach Ertz just yet, but him coming back to Arizona, he got that 2-point conversion. That was a nice catch, nice body control and concentration for him to get down and get a little low to get that catch. Good connection from him and Jayden Daniels. They have really good chemistry. They have very good chemistry. And then on the defensive side of the football, Bobby Wagner was flying around, 11 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. He had a half a sack. Frankie Louva had a half a sack. He was balling. He forced a fumble on Michael Wilson. Ball is life finally. And this is what I want the defense to do. The goal for the defense each game, and against the Browns, against the massage guy and Deshaun Watson, force at least 1 turnover. Just give us 1 turnover a game. That's all we need. 1 turnover a game, and just keep the other team under 22 points. 23, keep them around 23 to 20, because we're going to put up at least 28. We put up 38 against the Bengals, 42, something that hasn't been done since 2016, 42 points. Put up 42 points against the Bengals. 38 against the Bengals, 42 against the Cardinals on the road. Both games on the road, hostile environments. If the defense can just give us 1 turnover, punch the football, catch interception, something, because Deshaun's going to throw us. He's going to throw the ball our way. Just give us 1 turnover and keep it around 23 to 20 points, and I think that's a winning formula. It's a winning formula. It's going to be tough against the Ravens. I'm not going to look too far ahead. And about the Ravens game, that game may be flex. So keep an eye out for that. That game, there's a possibility the Ravens game in 2 weeks may be flexed to Sunday Night Football. That could certainly happen. So don't be surprised about that. Billy Massey, I wouldn't take it too far and say Luke is out playing Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel he had about 2 good seasons for us. He had 2 productive seasons, so I wouldn't go as far and say that Luke McCaffrey's out playing Curtis Samuel. I wouldn't go that far. It's too early to say that. Luke McCaffrey has been creating separation. He's been doing a great job of that. He's got good hands. He's getting open, and Jayden's starting to find guys now. Because he missed him in the Giants game, and guess what? Jayden threw an interception. Guess what? It didn't phase him. Came back the next series. We scored. So that's what I love about Jayden Daniels too. Nothing really phases him. He's always an even kill guy. He's a calm, cool, collected guy. Nothing's going to phase Jayden Daniels. He's always got his eyes on the prize. Unknown Ism says Noah Brown might need his own video. The little things he's doing on the field matter. That's what I'm saying. Like the pass interference that he forced, like that's huge. He didn't catch a touchdown, but I said this yesterday on my video. Like Deshaun Jackson used to do that all the time. He used to force a pass interference, and guess what? It got you in the red zone. It got us in the red zone. So as long as it moved the chains, and got us in the red zone, that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me. And Jayden Daniels took the chance throwing the ball down there. It was a catchable ball. I don't know because the guy clearly grabbed his arm, so it was the right call. I don't know. And there was one time the defense, like we had the Cardinals backed up on a 3rd and 34. Like that's how shook we had Kyler and the Cardinals, and they're off the line. Holding penalty, another holding penalty. Then it was 3rd and 34, and they didn't even throw the football. They decided to run the football. That's when Cardinals fans started booing them. That's how bad it got in their house. It got ugly. It got real ugly real quick for the Cardinals. But Noah Brown, yes, he's been a heck of an addition. Adam Peters, once again, working his magic. Adam Peters has done a great job so far. Even the little signings here and there, some small moves like bringing in Jeremy McNichols. He was huge yesterday. Signing Allegretti, he's done a great job so far. Drafting Brandon Coleman, which was a big move in the 3rd round. Bringing in Noah Brown after trading John Ridgeway to open up a roster spot. Then we signed Noah Brown. We traded Jahan Dotson, who I do like Jahan Dotson, but he's not doing anything. He's been quiet. He's been very, very quiet, very silent without A.J. Brown, without Devontae Smith. He only got 1 target yesterday. That's really bad. Like, I'm not going to pile on Jahan right now, but Adam Peters, like, all the moves, basically the majority of the moves that he made has been looking really good. The only bad move was really the Cade York one, and even that one, we got our 7th round pick back, so it didn't matter. And then he ended up signing Austin Seibert. So Adam Peters has done a heck of a job so far. He's done a heck of a job. And then speaking of Curtis Samuel, I don't even know if he played last night against the Ravens. Like, that's how silent he was. Like, I didn't see anything from Curtis Samuel. Like, Keon Coleman for the Bills, he gets more targets. Khalil Shakir gets more targets from the Bills. So I like Curtis Samuel. I like Jahan Dotson, but they've been radio silent. They've been radio silent for their new teams. It is what it is. We stay focused on our team. Billy Massey says, glad Samuel moved on. You see the trick play with Josh Allen. That was a bad play. Tress Way is a heck of a holder. Yes, he is. He definitely should make the Pro Bowl for holding the football. He might not even make the Pro Bowl this year because he's not going to get a lot of opportunities punting the football. Previous years, he was always out there, and he easily made the Pro Bowl. This year, he might not make it just because he's not even out there. But the times he's been out there, he's done a good job. That was a heck of a punt by Tress Way. That was a heck of a punt. Shuggs BZ said we might not need Devontae Adams. No need to add seasoning to a good meal, and that's what I'm saying. Like before, I was like, okay, we need to get a bona fide number 2 or another wide receiver out here to help out Terry McLaurin. But at this point, it's a wide receiver by committee. Jaden's spreading the wealth. Luke McCaffrey's getting better each game. Olamide is getting better each game or getting more chemistry with Terry. I mean, with Jayden. Terry is getting more chemistry with Jayden Daniels each game. The first 2 games didn't look too good. But the last 2 games, they've looked great. They've been on the same page. They're getting better each time. You see them in the thumbnail, keying with each other right now. The chemistry is getting better game by game. I don't think adding Devontae Adams is a great player, but this time it's about chemistry right now. It's about chemistry. These guys are playing really well with each other. They're having a lot of fun. Andrew Wiley's playing better. Zacchaeus, Luke McCaffrey, Noah Brown is playing his role really well. And Zach Ertz is a good tight end. Zach Ertz is a good tight end. We haven't even got Ben Sinnott involved yet, so let's see what he can do as well as a receiving tight end once we get him involved. So I don't think there's a need to really trade for a wide receiver at this point. I wouldn't trade for a wide receiver. I know Devontae Adams, he loves Jayden Daniels. He wanted to draft Jayden Daniels. We all know that. He said it on a podcast. He wanted to draft Jayden Daniels. But right now, I would not trade for Devontae Adams at this point. I think what we got right now, the formula that we have right now, the ingredients that we have right now is working. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it at this point. The offseason, you got guys like Travis Hunter in the draft, which we probably will not be able to draft him now because we won't be in the top 5 or the top 10. So you got to evaluate the receivers in the draft, and maybe you go in free agency and get T. Higgins or somebody like that. Maybe he might be available to get, but you gotta spend the money. And the crazy thing is, while Jayden is on his rookie deal, once again, I'm getting ahead of myself, which is easy to do. We have so much cap space. And that's why this is going to be a sustainable thing for years to come with Jayden Daniels. We have a lot of cap space for next year, too. Hex's Gamer says our special teams are sneaky good. Yes, it is. Tress Way is a baller. Tyler Owens was out there yesterday, I believe. He had a couple tackles in special teams, if I'm not mistaken. Jeremy Reeves is an all-pro special teamer. We got a couple all-pros. Nick Ballore didn't have any penalties on special teams. He did a great job doing that, not getting a penalty. Austin Eckler, when he comes back, now we have a legitimate kick returner in Austin Eckler. So whenever he comes back, if it's against the Browns, And if Eckler comes back, I would find a way to get Jeremy McNichols active. I would find a way. You got it. After having 2 touchdowns, if Eckler comes back, that's awesome. But after somebody having 2 touchdowns, they got to be active, in my opinion. They got to be active. They have to. You got to find a way. Now, if he doesn't get a lot of touches, it's all good because Eckler's a dog, B-Rob's a dog. But McNichols, he needs to be active from now on. He needs to suit up. He needs to have a jersey on and not street clothes. Spider Jet says, we've been playing amazing football in the league, has recognized our game. Commanders fans, our pain has come to an end. We're officially a competent football team. 10-7 season and playoffs coming. Yeah, 3-1 right now. I could definitely see us getting 10 wins. But, we're going to focus on the Browns next week. But I can see that. I could definitely see that for sure. NFC East championship. I think all those things are realistic at this point. They're very realistic. Because the defense, I actually believe the defense is going to get better now. I didn't believe it at first. I thought the defense was just going to be trash all year. But I actually believe that they have a chance to improve. I think they have a chance to improve. I think if John Allen and Jerome Payne play better, Frankie Louvu's a baller, Bobby Wagner's a heck of a tackler, heck of a run stopper. If the secondary can get, more chemistry, like Noah I looked good. Noah I played well. He had a pass breakup on the 3rd down. And Frankie Louvu can force a turnover. Dorrance Armstrong, Cleveland Farrell when he comes back, because he actually tackled quarterbacks. I think this defense can actually be a little bit better than what I was thinking last week. Billy Master said, I wanted an Ertz touchdown, but happy with the block. I did too. I wanted Zach Ertz to get a touchdown just for being back in Arizona. That would be the icing on the cake, the nail in the coffin, the dagger right there. The dagger was really the Jerry McNichols. The dagger, honestly, when the game was over, it's 35-14. Trying to think who scored the 35. I gotta look at the play-by-play. But Zach Ertz, yes, that would have been great. That would have been great seeing him get a touchdown in Arizona. The touchdown to make it 35-14 was... Who scored the 35-14 touchdown? Terry McLaurin. He scored the touchdown. That was after the 12 men on the field penalty. And they honestly, the 12 men on the field penalty on offense on 3rd down, it was 3rd and goal. That actually gave us a little bit more wiggle room for our routes. That's what I said yesterday too. Like, it gave us a little bit more room for our route concepts for guys to get open. Terry McLaurin caught that. That was on a 3rd and goal too. That was a big play by Jayden to convert that on 3rd down. Like the 3rd and 13 to Noah Brown. I love that. Just converting on 3rd and longs. We were 9 for 12 on 3rd downs. That was huge. And then to convert on a 3rd and goal to Terry in the back of the end zone was a huge play by Jayden Daniels too. That was a heck of a play. Excuse me. Shred the Word said, what do we think about Ben Sennaduze flag generator? That's what I talked about. That he might be the only kind of dud from yesterday. If I'm doing my studs and duds as always, like, he's the only dud I would say, and he really wasn't a dud, honestly. I'm not going to do that to him. I don't think he was that bad of a dud where he needs to be listed as a dud and not a stud. He was just in the middle, but he's got to clean up the penalties. He does. He has to clean that up. I don't know if it's nerves or whatever is going on with him right now because he's a rookie, but he's got to clean that up. He's got to clean that. That's the only knock that I had yesterday. The 12 men on the field was the only thing I didn't like. But even that, it didn't matter because we ended up scoring on the next play. It didn't really matter. Alameda was the highest graded PFF player with a 91.8 offensive grade, 93.2 pass grade as well. Jayden Daniels had an 82.7 PFF grade. B-Rob with a 78.0. Ben Sinnott had the worst. He had the worst PFF grade of everybody with a 44.7. That's why I said he's like the only one. Sam Cosmi had a 68.1 pass blocking grade and a 40.1 run blocking grade. So he struggled a little bit in run blocking yesterday against the Cardinals. But other than that, like Cornelius Lucas had a heck of a day, 82.1 pass blocking grade. Brandon Coleman, 86.6 pass blocking grade, which is really, really good. Jeremy McNichols, 82.3 pass blocking grade. I remember when he did he flipped somebody over on the 3rd down on the 3rd and 10. Jayden Daniels touchdown pass to Terry to put the dagger in the Bengals. Jeremy McNichols, he was the guy who made that huge block on the linebacker against the Bengals. So Jeremy McNichols, not only is he a good runner, but he's really good in pass pro too. And we haven't even used him as a receiver much. I'm trying to see if he had a catch yesterday, but we can use him in the receiving game too. Like he's a good back to catch the ball. He had one catch for 6 yards, even there, because just like Eckler, he can really catch the ball in the backfield. I already said Jeremy McNichols, he needs to play. And when Eckler comes back, I would still suit him up. I would not have him inactive on the bench or in street clothes. Jeremy McNichols, I already said he was a stud. He had a 78.2 offensive grade, 82.3 pass blocking grade, and 85.1 run grade as well. So he had a heck of a day. Allegretti with an 84.1 pass blocking grade. Wilder with 84.4 pass blocking grade as well. And then B-Rob just had a heck of a day. So, I mean, just all around, everybody playing well. All right. I know Izzy said that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. I'm not going to cry like Terrell Owens, but that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback for sure. All right, I'm going to give a quick shout out to BetUS here. Let's look at the props and how we did yesterday in the game. I'll give you guys some of my picks. I didn't do too hot, but some of my picks did hit for sure. Make sure you guys check out BetUS. They have a good promo deal going on, 150% bonus on your first deposit, and then 125% bonus deposit on your next two deposits up to $2,000 with code U250. That's for first-time users. 24/7 personalized service for 365 days using BetUS. You also get 10% back on your net losses twice a year on BetUS. So make sure you guys check out BetUS. I did take the over on 2.5 receptions for Zach Ertz. That hit. He had 3. I also took I didn't take B-Rob. I took carries for Jayden Daniels at 9.5. He went under with 8, and then I took 1.5 passing touchdowns for Kyler Murray, and he went under with 1. I did not expect our defense because the way the game started too, like they scored easily on that first drive. The touchdown pass to Marvin Harrison, I was like, okay, he's probably going to throw. Before the game started, I put the wager in for him to at least throw 2 touchdowns. He did not. Shout out to our defense. Credit our defense for that. They did give up another touchdown to James Conner, but through the air, our defense did a heck of a job. They kept Kyler Murray in check on the ground and through the air. Zach Ertz, did he hit the 28 receiving yards? He did not, but he hit the receptions. That's why I usually take receptions for Zach Ertz because Jayden really loves Zach Ertz and he targets Zach Ertz a lot. I took receptions for Terry McLaurin at 3.5. He hit that with 7. So if you would have took receptions on BetUS, you would have hit on that. So I took receptions for Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin. Those are wagons right there that I go to every week on BetUS. B-Rob smashed to 65 rushing yards. He ended up with 101. And Jayden Daniels smashed the passing yards for 212. He ended up with 233. Pass completions, he ended up with 26. So he smashed that again, just like he did on Monday Night Football. Passing touchdowns, he usually ends up with 1. He had 2 on Monday Night Football, but consistently he's had 1. The Giants game, we didn't have any, and then the Buccaneers game, he didn't have any, but right now he's had 2 and 1. He consistently has had rushing touchdowns. 3 out of the 4 games. If you want to do anytime touchdown scores on BetUS, I think that play might actually be the safer play because I see him getting in the end zone against the Browns too. Because Cliff, he knows what to do. I mean, that run for the touchdown, he made it look so easy. The offensive line did a heck of a job clearing a path lane for Jayden Daniels as well for that running touchdown. I want to see if that was on a 3rd down as well because he made that look super, super, super easy there, right there. Jeremy McNichols, he scored on a 2nd and 4. Which one was the touchdown for Jayden Daniels? It was a 1st and goal on Arizona's 9. Shotgun run, Jayden Daniels right in for 9 yards for a touchdown. That was a great play call by Cliff and great execution by Jayden Daniels there. So that's how it went. I was 1 out of 3 on the picks that I gave you guys. Passing touchdowns for Kyler Murray that did not hit, which is a good thing. And then also the rushing attempts for Jayden did not hit, which is, kind of a good thing. He's not running as much. He only had 8 carries compared to 16 against Tampa Bay. He had 12 against the Bengals, and then he had 10 against the Giants. So his rushing attempts are starting to go down, which is cool. And then we did hit on Zach Ertz reception at 3.5. So, but make sure you guys check out BetUS. They got a good promo code deal coming out right now with 150% signing bonus and use promo code YouTube 150 for BetUS. All right, let's hop back into the comments here. I know everybody's teed up to Monday, Victory Monday. Shout out to E says Jayden equals total package, even emotional, genuine joy with playing a game. I mean, he's just such a humble guy, even kill guy. And I mean, he looks like a proven leader. He's a guy that gets in the building early, training camp, mini camp. He talked about that, getting there at 5:30, him and Luke McCaffrey, and leaving the building late. I mean, he throws an interception. He didn't let that phase him at all. Next drive, he comes back, we score. So nothing really phases the young man at all. He's such a humble guy. Even the Bengals game, you look at him, he was going back and forth, not really going back and forth, but he was hyped up talking to Cliff. He was like, let's go, let's run this 4th and 4. And they got it. So him and Cliff have really good chemistry, where you saw Cliff and Kyler, they didn't have good chemistry. I think when Cliff and Jayden go back and forth and have conversations back and forth in the middle of the game where it's intense situations, they have a healthy conversation, where it just wasn't healthy with Kyler. And the way that they treated Cliff Kingsbury on his way out, and use him as a scapegoat and all that, that just wasn't good. So I saw, you could tell that Cliff was excited when he was getting at him. When he was calling that run to B Rob, he called a wildcat to B Rob, and on that first drive, like Cliff was in his bag. He called a wildcat play to B Rob, and I was like, okay. And that joint went for like 8 yards. I was like, okay, yeah, Cliff's cooking right now. He's got some bag of tricks, and he's using them right now. Corey Booker says, spread the word. You are so right on John Allen. John Allen he's woken up. I know he does his radio interviews and whatnot, but he at one point he had more radio interviews than impactful plays, and that's just unacceptable. He's starting to at least get some of his impactful plays to the number of radio interviews he's doing. So he's not there yet, but he's getting there. He still has more radio interviews than impactful plays this season, but he's starting to get there. And we haven't heard a rant, the usual season rant from John Allen. We haven't heard that yet. He has to play better. He has to play better. He played better on Sunday. He played better yesterday. Jerron Payne, we had a sighting from him. Jerron Payne was off on that Bengals game. He had Chase Brown or Zach Moss wrapped up and just let him go. But they did a good job tackling. They tackled Kyler Murray too. Who's a slippery quarterback. He's a slippery, small, 5'9" jitterbug. And Dorrance Armstrong did a good job tackling him. Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, Jerron Payne, John Allen. They wrapped up. They did a better job tackling. That was a huge thing for the defense. Game balls are studs. I already said B-Rob. Cliff was a stud. Jayden, clearly. B-Rob with 21 carries for 101 yards. Jeremy McNichols was a stud with 68 yards, 8 carries, 2 touchdowns. Alameda was a stud with 6 catches for 85 yards and a nice reverse run out there as well. Terry with 7 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown and a tutty. He was a stud. Noah Brown, I'll give him somewhat of a stud because he forced that pass interference. I like the way that he played. Luke McCaffrey only had 1 catch for 17 yards, but I like the way that he played defensively. Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, Jeremy Chin, I'll throw him in there a little bit only because he finally tackled. I won't call him a stud just yet, but he improved because he tackled. And then I'm not going to call Emmanuel Forbes a stud, but he didn't do anything to hurt us. And at this point, we'll take that. We'll take that from Emmanuel Forbes. He went out there. He didn't hurt us. He didn't hurt us at all. Didn't give up any plays, no penalties, no face masks. He actually was willing to tackle. He was getting in the mix. He was getting dirty on run plays. Emmanuel Forbes looked solid. He looked solid. I like the way that he played yesterday. I like that he played with some urgency, and he played well. I just got some PFF numbers for the defense here. So I'm going to give those to you guys, too, real quick to see who got which guy stood out. Like I said, I know PFF's not gospel. I know somebody's going to comment that and say that it is what it is. Frankie Louvu was the highest graded PFF players. He clearly was a stud with a 90.3 defensive grade. He had a 90.5 coverage grade as well. 90.5. And Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison, we kept him in check. The only play that I didn't like was the 4th and 12. We gave up a 4th and 12 to the Cardinals, and Marvin Harrison had that catch. But Marvin Harrison had 45 yards receiving. Everybody in the world thought Marvin Harrison was going to have a Malik Neighbors type game or a Jamar Chase kind of game. The highest yards for a wide receiver yesterday was 45 yards. Greg Dortch, who's a good receiver, only had 38 yards. Michael Wilson, who's a solid receiver, only had 38 yards. So the only thing that we need to really work on from yesterday was stopping the run. But tackling is improving. That's a huge part of it is tackling. And the defense was clearly behind. Bobby didn't play in the preseason at all. Frankie did play in the preseason. But you could tell Bobby was kind of getting up to speed a little bit. It looks like he's there. He's getting there for sure. But the secondary is playing better. They're playing better. They're playing a lot better. Dorrance Armstrong was the 3rd highest graded PFF player on our defense. 80.0 grade, 83.2 pass rush grade. They had no answer for Dorrance. Bobby Wagner with an 87.0. He had an 86.1 pass rushing grade. Jeremy Chin with a 77.1. Tackling for Jeremy Chin was an 80.8 tackling grade. 80.8 for Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin has been awful tackling through 4 games. Through the first 3 games, he was terrible, but yesterday he was on point tackling. He was on point. That's the Jeremy Chin that we expected to come in because Jeremy Chin took a pay cut. He said he could have got paid more going to the Steelers, but he chose to come here, and he made the right decision. He's starting to play better because I was ready to bench him for Derek Forrest. I really was. I was like, either put Derek Forrest in the game or put Tyler Owens, put somebody to play with some physicality and some violence, because he just wasn't playing with any violence or physicality that Joe Witt Jr. had asked him to play with. Mikael Walker, he had 6 snaps, 71.8 PFF grade. Quan Martin, 57 snaps, 64.6. Noah I had a 75.5 tackling grade, 59.0 coverage grade, 60.7 PFF grade. Jamin Davis played 19 snaps. Mikey Samry still played 49 snaps. He had a 78.6 tackling grade and a 58.9 coverage grade. He did play outside a couple snaps. Emmanuel Forbes still graded really poorly. He had a 46.2 defensive grade, 38.9 run defense grade, and a 24.1 tackling grade. I just hyped up his tackling grade, and he had a 24. His tackling, he had a 24.1 tackling grade, 55.1 coverage grade, though. I think the stop on Michael Wilson that he had or the pass deflection helped out his grade. The worst PFF grade player for the Commanders yesterday on defense was Andre Jones Jr. with 34.3. Also, Johnny Newton had a 35.3 PFF grade yesterday. He had a 67.3 tackling grade and a 54.2 pass rushing grade, but his run defensive grade was not good with a 39.1. Like I said, our run defense was not good. Our run defense has not been good all season. James Conner ended the game with 100 yards, I believe. He ended up with 104 yards off of 18 carries and had 1 touchdown. So the interior, we still need to improve with stopping the run for sure. So Johnny Newton, he had a solid game, but there's some room for improvement there for sure. Ben St. Juste had a 46.9 coverage grade. I didn't really see him give up many big plays because as a whole, defensively, we didn't give up a lot of big plays. But Frankie Louisville was a dog. He was a stud. Bobby was a stud. Dorrance was a stud. And who else? Frankie, Bobby, Dorrance, and John Allen played well. He had a 48.8 PFF grade. Run defensive grade was bad with 38.3. So the defensive interior was not good against the run. So that's something we really need to improve on with the Browns with Jerome Ford and who's their other running back for the Browns? I can't remember the guy's name. Is Donta Foreman. We really have to do a better job stopping the run against the Browns. They have 2 solid running backs that can run the football. They're not juggernauts, but anybody that we played against, Bucky Irvin, we gave up big yards to him. Chase Brown, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary. That's going to be a huge key against the Browns in the rest of the season. We really got to stop the run. That's our Achilles heel on defense right now. They got to be better at that. I mean, the secondary, of course, too, but we got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. Jayden Daniels, game changer, Dan Quinn voice. That's what he said on the radio. He did say that when he thought about Jayden Daniels, they were like one word. He said game changer. He certainly is that. I'm so happy the Top Golf thing went well. I remember at one time everybody was panicking over the Top Golf, and then Jayden Daniels, his agent, went on Twitter and tweeted out that he wants to be here. Actually, I don't even go down that rabbit hole, but I remember just all the drama that happened before we drafted Jayden. And I'm just happy all that stuff is out of the way. The air is cleared. He wants to be here. He said that on Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp's show that he wants to be here. And he's here now, and he's balling. So all that stuff is like everybody almost forgot about the Top Golf situation and all that debacle or Top Golf gates and who had the best Top Golf swing and who won. It's like, who cares? Who cares at this point? And I stopped caring when we drafted him anyway. Or really right before that. I didn't get caught up in that stuff. I didn't. But yes, he is a game changer, and he's top 10. He's at least top 10 in the MVP race right now, and he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Tim Farrell says, "I think Kyler Murray hates football." No, I mean, he's a Call of Duty guy. I mean, a lot of people play Call of Duty, but maybe that's just, I don't know. I mean, he really struggles to see over the line, and you can see that yesterday. Cliff knows that. I mean, the whole league knows that. But Cliff really exploited that. And you could just tell during the game, like he really struggles to see over the line. And if he can't run and get out, I mean, he runs to throw. So it's not like he's just a scrambling quarterback because we've seen him make big plays. He made big plays against the Bills. And he made big plays against the Rams too. They beat the Rams, who are a good team. So Kyler's a good quarterback, and we did a good job. And I hate that people are saying that we beat Cupcake so far. The Cardinals, people weren't saying that when the Cardinals beat the Rams. And people definitely wouldn't say that about Joe Burrow. They just beat the Panthers. They're 2-3 right now, or are they 1? They're 1-3 right now. And we know the Bengals are a perennial playoff team. So we've beaten some good teams. The Cardinals have made the playoffs in the past with Cliff when he was there. We've beaten 2 solid teams. And the Giants, they beat the Browns. The Giants beat the Browns. And the Giants, they almost beat the Cowboys. And the one team we lost to right now, the Buccaneers, they dog walked the Eagles. So we played solid teams. We played solid teams. You got to beat the guys that are in front of you. And we went on the road in hostile environments and beat both those teams and handled them. Queen Sheen says, when you waited forever in a line and now it's finally your turn. It's been so long. It's been so long. It's just surreal. It doesn't feel real. It really doesn't. I know it's early. It's only 4 games, but it does feel surreal to have a quarterback to play the way he's playing, a coaching staff, a competent coaching staff, a competent general manager, a competent owner, a future, a direction. It just feels weird. We just haven't seen it here. We just haven't seen it here since the 90s with Joe Gibbs. And, people talk about the 1991 season already. That's really like the last time we've seen competent front office, competent quarterback play and consistently. And, there's still a long way to go with Jayden. But it's been a long time coming for the Commanders. We got ESPN media people going crazy, talking about he's the best quarterback in the NFC. Damian Woody calling him the best player in the NFC. John Gruden watching highlights and going crazy. Everybody, Dan Orlovsky waking up at 8 a.m. and making Twitter videos about Jayden Daniels and making all 22 videos. Everybody's just going crazy. Pat McAfee. Des Bryant yesterday was going on a Twitter rant about how good the Commanders are right now, how good we are, and how good Jayden Daniels. Like, everybody is going crazy. Stephen A. just said he would take Jayden Daniels over Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. It's kind of like, who cares what they say? But I'm just saying, like, that's how crazy it is with the media. Like, we've always been a kicking board or a whipping board for the media. Now ESPN loves us. First Take, all Fox Sports. Everybody loves us right now. Everybody loves us. Even the people who have hated the Skins in Washington forever and ever because of Dan Snyder, those people are turning around and loving us. Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. Everybody is talking about this offense and Jayden Daniels right now. Billy Massey says, they not like us, HTTR. Hashtag HTTC. Yes, sir. Raymond Johnson says, defense needs to keep the Browns offense from scoring. They struggling to score, so bring the heat. Yeah, the Browns, they just lost to the Raiders. The only thing I'm really kind of concerned about is Myles Garrett, and even that, our offensive line has been doing a great job. And Myles Garrett's not 100%. Amari Cooper is good, but the quarterback play has not been good for them. The massage man, Deshaun Watson, has really been struggling. Jerry Jeudy's a good receiver, so they have talent. They do have talent. The Browns are a talented team. It's going to be a tough test. It's not going to be a cakewalk. I don't see us beating them 42-14. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if we did. If we do the things we're supposed to do and the defense plays like the way they did last week, and I think Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson at this point. Maybe Deshaun Watson with the Texans was better than Kyler Murray, but Deshaun Watson now, Kyler Murray is better than him in my opinion. And honestly, just take away Amari Cooper, limit big plays, stop Jerome Ford, stop Donta Foreman, force at least one turnover, keep them around 20-23. The Browns' offense is a struggle. They lost to the Giants at home. And their corner struggled against Malik Neighbors. So I think they'll struggle against Terry McLaurin and our guys too. So I personally think we should win that game, but it's a week-to-week league. You just never know. You never know what can happen. And imagine if we get Austin Eckler back on Sunday. Imagine that. And we have a 3-headed monster with Jeremy McNichols, B-Rob, Eckler. Imagine if Eckler is back on Sunday. So, I mean, we could have a nasty three-headed monster at the running back position. And if Ransom says Murray doesn't love the sport, it's just a job to him, probably. I mean, hey, who knows? I mean, we did what we were supposed to do. He couldn't see over the line, and we exposed that. Tyler says, always love Cleveland Farrell coming out of Richmond. Yeah, Cleveland Farrell, he is a local guy. He is playing good football. We got to get him back on the field, too, because I keep saying anybody who can tackle, I'll take him on the field. He's one of the few guys that has been tackling consistently and tackling the quarterback consistently. Red Wings Owen says, not to mention F.A. Obata, Jordan McGee. Let's unleash the beast in Jordan McGee when he comes back from injury reserve. That's another linebacker that can come in and help us out because Jordan McGee had a really good offseason. He had a really good mini camp and training camp. So, I mean, how is Joe Witt Jr. and Dan Quinn, how are they going to use Jordan McGee when he comes back? He could give Frankie a break. I mean, Frankie needs to play all the snaps anyway, but I'm just saying in that rotation, when Jordan McGee comes back and adds that speed to the defense, I mean, we got guys that, are going to be some secret weapons out here. I mean, that's just how talented this team is. And, I mean, we just got some guys. We got some guys. And Jayden being here, he makes everybody better. And I think the defense, a big reason why they're getting better now, and they get to rest too. We won the time of possession too. Let me look that up and make sure we won the time of possession. I'm pretty sure we won the time of possession. as well. We won the time of possession 33-26. We're giving the defense a break, so they're fresh. They're not out there all the time. You know, we're having these sustainable drives. Tress Way's not punting. John Allen gets a break. Frankie Louis gets a break. We have a rotation for John Allen. For Darian Mathis is getting snaps. Newton's getting snaps, so those guys can stay fresh. John Allen, Jerome Payne. The defense is getting a break because we're dominating the clock. We're scoring. And then when you see the offense, we have a quarterback like Jayden Daniels. It's like, hey, if we can get the guy, if we get our quarterback the ball back, we know he's going to score. So that gives the defense even more confidence. JC says, "What's up, Ed? Today's a good day. Yes, it is. It's a great day. Victory Monday. Any Victory Monday is a good day. Eagles nervous right now. Yeah, I saw some Eagles fans too. Some content creators for sure being very nervous, and they were trying to discredit Jayden Daniels. I think I saw one video where they were very upset that we got a quarterback now. It is what it is, though. The NFC is going to be very scared for the next couple of years. It's going to be very scared for sure. Jasmine Gray says Jayden Daniels will be MVP candidate of 2024. I talked about that earlier. Yes, I think the only people that are ahead of him right now, if you want to be realistic, is Sam Darnold, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, Derrick Henry, maybe after last night, if you want to throw him in the hat too. Baker Mayfield, maybe, because they're 3-1. If you want to just go off wins, Baker Mayfield, and I already said Pat Mahomes. So those are the guys. Those are the guys right now that are kind of in a race right now. If I went on like BetUS and looked up the odds, like right now, I know his odds for Offensive Rookie of the Year are probably very, very low now, or probably like minus 200 at this point because Caleb Williams is he's not there. Will Levitt, Bo Nix is not going to get it, of course, and then Malik Neighbors is like second in my opinion, and he's not a quarterback, so it's going to be harder for a non-quarterback to get it. He's got to win games. The thing is, Jayden Daniels is going to win it because he's going to win games and he's going to contribute. As long as Jayden gets 2 touchdowns per game, 2 total touchdowns, and gets a win, he'll be fine. He's going to be a shoo-in for it. Let me just look at the MVP candidates at this point. I know it's so early to look it up. I know it's so early and to look at playoffs and stuff like that. I get it. I know. But it's just like he really is up there. He really is. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is reasonable. Aaron Rodgers, he lost yesterday. He looked bad. Didn't play well. Jalen Hurts is not in it anymore at this point. Joe Burrow, no. He beat Joe Burrow in his house. And Dak Prescott should not get it. Brock Purdy, maybe only because they're winning games. So Brock Purdy's going to be in the conversation. Derek Carr with the Saints because the Saints are winning games. That makes sense. And other than that, that's really it. Sam Darnold, that's really it right now at this point. Jayden should be in the top 10 in the conversation. He should be like in the pick. He should get votes. He should get at least one vote, in my opinion. Shigsby said, nice selling on both sides. I heard they were playing go-go at the game too. Like that's how much we took over the stadium. They were playing go-go in Arizona. Anthony B says, been waiting on that performance from Dorrance Armstrong. Yeah, he woke up. It was about time. We were waiting on Dorrance because he was like the most productive edge rusher signing. Dante Fowler hasn't been bad so far at the past 2 games. I thought he played with good effort against the Bengals. He was flying around a little bit. He didn't get a sack, but he was flying around, playing with energy against the Cardinals yesterday. So we got some guys. We don't have a dominant pass rusher. And who knows? We might have a guy that will develop into a dominant pass rusher. But we got a group of guys that can have a good rotation right now. That are playing good football through one game right now. So they got a long way to go, but they're playing better. All right, so I'm going to be in for about Cruising. We got a Giants fan in here. What's up, Cruising? He says your quarterback is playing as well as any quarterback. That's why I said that. He's playing as well as any quarterback right now. He's playing well as any quarterback at this point. Right now, through 4 games, he has played the best football in the NFC East so far. I think even other teams can agree on that. Through 4 games, he has played the best football. He has in the NFC East for sure. You might be able to say by far at this point. But shout out to Cruising, being real, keeping it real, man. You guys got one of Malik Neighbors. Him and Jayden play together, and they're both dogs. Malik Neighbors is a dog. We're going to be playing against Malik Neighbors for years to come, and you guys are going to have trouble with Jayden for years to come. So, two really good LSU players. Fallon says, love how Tress gave JD number 5 and Tress hasn't punted much. Yeah, and people were going crazy over that too. It was crazy. Like people were like, oh, he shouldn't have given up number 5 because Tress Way was all crying. He was emotional, which I get. People are very emotional over numbers and whatnot. Tress Way has been a great player for years, but it was like, bro, you got to give that to Jayden Daniels. He's going to be the franchise quarterback. And he's showing why he's got that number 5. Because I remember people were upset that he got it. But who cares at this point? And yeah, Tress has barely been out there, but Tress, once again, when he got his opportunity to go out there and punt the football, he did not waste that opportunity. It was like we were backed up on our own 10, if I'm not mistaken. He booted it to the 34, and they barely could return it. Like, yes, left hand up, left hand up, left hand up. Yes, Cliff is still getting paid by the Cardinals. He's still collecting the check. It was funny on the broadcast, they were talking about how when he left, he went to Indonesia or Bali or something like that. Like he left the country for a couple months. He took a sabbatical after he got fired, and then he went to USC, revived his career, and now he's here. Like, one second, I gotta drink some secret stuff real quick. I think Cliff right now is in a perfect spot. Like Cliff is in a perfect role right now. He really is. I think this is the perfect job for Cliff Kingsbury because I think he's better suited as an offensive coordinator. And I'm not gonna say he's not a leader of men, but your leader of men is Dan Quinn. You have Dan Quinn, who's a leader of men. And Cliff, all he needs to do is just focus on the offense, focus on Jayden, getting Brian Robinson the football. Like Brian Robinson's on pace to clearly get 1,000 yards. He's on pace to have his best year of his career. B Rob has what 4 touchdowns so far in the season, so he's on pace. If he can stay healthy, knock on wood, for 17 games, he's gonna easily get at least 13, 14, 15 touchdowns, rushing and receiving combined. Jayden Daniels is on pace to get at least 10 touchdowns on the ground through 17 games. But the way that Cliff is calling the offense, calling a wildcat for B Rob, he's just put him in the best position. Like even the Bengals game, like I like how Cliff is not abandoning the run either. Like because B Rob didn't have a great game against the Bengals, but B Rob still had 17 carries. He still had like 17, 19 carries. He only had like 30 yards on the ground, but I just love that Cliff doesn't abandon the run. And even if you're not getting a bunch of yards on the ground, at least you're making the Bengals respect that we have a run game. And that's what he did last week. This game, the run game was humming. Everything was working. B Rob had 100 yards on the ground. The Giants game, he kept feeding him the rock. And then the thing was that, Cliff only throws the ball. That before we hired him, when we hired him, I was like, he just throws the ball, but that's not the case. Look at James Conner with the Cardinals and the way that he had James Conner. James Conner had a Pro Bowl season under Cliff Kingsbury, running the football and catching the football out of the backfield. And Anthony Lynn, that's another person I want to bring up, was Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn is a heck of a run game coordinator. Excuse me. He's a heck of a run game coordinator. And everywhere Anthony Lynn goes, the run game gets better. The run game gets better. You look at the Niners with Christian McCaffrey. You look at the Jets. You look at the Bills with LaShawn McCoy and Tyrod Taylor. Everywhere Anthony Lynn, even with the Lions, he had DeAndre Swift and a couple guys. Their run game was humming. Everywhere Anthony Lynn goes, we have a legit coaching staff. We have Ken Norton at the linebacker position coach. We have Anthony Lynn as the run game coordinator. And even the guy from the Eagles has been doing a good job. OG Bobby Johnson from the Giants, who I was concerned about myself. I didn't like the hire when we hired him. But OG Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach, has done a really good job so far. Excuse me. He's done a heck of a job. He's done a good job so far. So the coaching staff that Dan Quinn assembled has done a really, really good job. Yes, rest in peace to Kemi Mutombo. 58 years old, 58 years young, died of cancer. We all know he went to Georgetown. He was a lockdown defender, created the finger wag. We all know the Geico commercials, played for the Hawks, was a great player with the Hawks, great player with the Nuggets, went to Georgetown, Hoya Paranoia. Rest in peace to Kemi Mutombo. Benjamin said Mayo Force had a couple total whiffs trying to tackle. He just was outside. Yes, he did. And it showed it in the PFF grade. He had like a 46 tackling grade. He had a 24.1 PFF tackling grade. And he tried to tackle James Conner. He whiffed. I did see that. But I just anything that Emmanuel Forbes, I try to be positive from now on. I really do. So I'll just say I like the effort from him. And he didn't give up a big play. I'll say that. That's all I'm gonna say about Emmanuel Forbes. But yes, he is undersized. We're gonna draft a corner. We're gonna sign a corner. Adam Peters is gonna get some more cornerbacks in here next year, this offseason. 55.1 PFF coverage grade, which is a lot better. A lot better. No face mask from Emmanuel Forbes. No double penalty on a play. No getting big boy. No getting bodied by Marvin Harrison. I thought Emmanuel Forbes, for grading him on the Emmanuel Forbes scale, I thought Emmanuel Forbes did a good job. I'll take that game from Emmanuel Forbes any day of the week. Any day of the week, I'll take that game from Emmanuel Forbes. Man Force calls that stop from for Jeremy Chin off the edge. Yes, he did mix it up. He did mix it up. Tabletop Laboratories or Laboratory says Noah Brown gets an Oscar for that one. Yeah, you gotta play it off. You gotta flail your head like James Harden. You gotta sell it sometimes. You gotta be like an NBA player. You gotta sell Joel Embiid. You gotta sell it. You gotta flail your head. LeBron's always flopping. Sometimes you gotta do that. And Noah Brown, he did that. He didn't flop too much, but clearly the guy held his arm on the pass interference. But you got to sell it. You really do. You got to do that. That's how you get to the free throw line in basketball. You got to sell it. You got to flail your arms, flail your head back. You gotta act sometimes. You got to do that. Foxy 21 Gamer, what's up, man? What's going on? Victory Monday. Augustine the King says salute Ed. Right hand up, left hand up, left hand up, left hand up for sure. Jeffrey Williams said tapping in from Alabama. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All over. Tapping in from Alabama. Yes, sir. Alabama had a heck of a game on Saturday. That guy, number 2, the receiver, I can't remember his name, but he had a heck of a game. Even that guy, he's a freshman, so we can't draft him. But if he was a junior or eligible, I would definitely try to draft him in the first round. Excuse me. Hugh Gar says this team is going to be fired up. Fired the freak up at home for the Browns. Watson is already beat. Yeah, I mean, that could get ugly for the Browns too. Like I could see us blowing them out, and it's so crazy for me to say that. Like I've never been able to say like, oh, I think we can blow somebody out or blow a team out or skunk a team, but that might be an opportunity to do that at home. It really might be, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I do respect Jerome Ford. I do respect Donta Foreman. I do respect Amari Cooper. I do respect Jerry Jeudy, and I do respect Myles Garrett. I think they're good players. I think they do have talented players on the Browns. I think they're a talented team. David Njoku, I think, is injured. That would be a help for the Browns if he played, but he's not. So that is a help for us. And Nick Chubb's supposed to be coming back in a couple weeks, but he won't be ready. He won't be ready, of course, on Sunday. But I think if we do the same thing that we did to Kyler Murray, I think we certainly do the same thing to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, he did miss a pass to Amari Cooper. I know he had a touchdown pass to Amari Cooper, but they called it back for a pass interference. Or no, it was like a holding or something like that against the Raiders. So if he would have converted that pass, they might have beat the Raiders. But the Giants beat the Browns. So I'm like, hey, man, we should be able to take care of the Browns, in my opinion. But it's week to week. It's week to week. Everything is different. Shattered Limerick. So Cliff went to Thailand. I'm sorry, not to Bali, not to Indonesia, but he went to Thailand. He went to Thailand for his sabbatical. That's what he did. All right, so a couple comments, guys. Probably gonna wrap it up now. MRB, thank you, man. He says I've been with you since before 1000, and I've been busy for real. Happy as heck to share in this with all my YouTube OGs, man. It's been a long time coming. I started in 2018 when we had, Alex Smith. Hold on for a second. But yeah, I started in 2018 when we had Alex Smith as a quarterback. I could go down this rabbit hole. But you got a lot of you guys know when I started. We had Alex Smith, and he got injured. It was 6-3 season. DJ Swearinger. No, I started when we had Kirk Cousins. Actually, when DJ Swearinger got released, that was like one of my first videos that had a lot of views, and a lot of people started watching me at that time. But it's been a long time coming, guys. It's been a long time coming. We all know the story with the ownership and everything. It's been a long time. All the quarterbacks that Terry has been through, we've all seen it. All the quarterbacks that we've seen the last couple of years, it's been our time. It's our time. It's our time now. And why not us? Why not us? So we'll wrap it up here, guys. I know DV Crazy talking about Jahan Dotson. We already talked about him earlier. Adam Peters made a good move. Jahan Dotson had 2 catches for 11 yards yesterday. What do you think about the trade now? At first, I didn't like the trade. I'm not going to lie. I didn't like it at first. But the trade is working out. And it's crazy because Devontae Smith didn't play and A.J. Brown didn't play. And he still barely had any catches. Like, that was the crazy. I was like, okay, Devontae's not playing, A.J. Brown's not playing. I'm like, Jahan should at least do something. And I look at the stats, and he only had 2 catches for 11 yards. And I like Jahan. I've always been a fan of Jahan Dotson. So I'm never going to badmouth him. But Adam Peters knew what he was doing. So we got a 3rd-round pick for basically nothing at this point. We got a 3rd-round pick for over the season right now. Jahan probably has like 4 catches for 20 yards. We got a 3rd-round pick for 4 catches and 20 yards through 4 games. And that's awesome. I'll take that any day of the week. Any day of the week, I'll take that. Tone 210 says, "Cool, I've got Derrick Henry. We don't need him. We got B-Rob. I love Derrick Henry, but B-Rob's doing what we need him to do. We got Austin Eckler doing what we need him to do. We got Jeremy McNichols coming in and doing what he needs to do, doing what he's doing. 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, Derrick Henry, I like Derrick Henry, of course, but I like the guys that we got. Same thing with Devontae Adams. I like Devontae Adams, but I like the guys that we got right now. I like the guys that we got. And it's about chemistry. It's not always about having big names. It's about chemistry. Right now, these guys, they like each other. They're having fun. They're enjoying playing with each other. And that's what matters. I'll take good chemistry over big names. So, but all right, you guys. Rest in peace to Kimbe. I love this college offense. This college offense is humming. Let's keep it up. Jayden Daniels, the dog. As always, top of the NFC East right now. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it going. Momentum going. I'll make some more videos throughout the week. As always, make sure you guys check out BetUS, 150% sign up bonus using promo code YouTube 150 new users. As always, Health Commanders. Peace.